Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today this has been a long time video that I've wanted to come and show you guys, but I just spent a little bit more longer time in the month of January and now the beginning of February getting my this is all based on one little word, and I really wanted to really kind of sit down and write out my dreams, my thoughts, and I'll go through all that stuff in just a moment. But before we move into my one little word, which is the word shine, I kind of wanted to close out my word from 2018, which was learn. Now, I have to say I'm a little disappointed in myself, but I'm not going to harp on it because I can't. It's done, gone, last year, moving on. But I literally didn't spend a lot of time with my word, and if anything, if I had to say what I learned last year was sometimes in life things happen that just make you stop in your tracks and slow down. And that was last year. I had my grandfather had passed, and I don't know, things just happened where for the first time in since I've started my creative business and everything. Oh, we bought and sold a new house. I mean, there was just so much going on last year. But I think it was the first time I have ever felt like I bit off more than I can chew. That's the only really word I can say, because typically I'm a hustler. I try to get things done. I don't let issues come in hand. I just say, hey, this is what needs to get done, and I try to do as best as my ability. But last year I felt overwhelmed, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Like I said, we can't go in the past, and I did learn a lot about sometimes you just have to stop, slow down, and just take care of yourself and do the best you can. So my idea that I had last year was to use a personal sized planner. And so I basically just took it out, and I just basically, like I said, I didn't spend a whole lot of time in my word. I don't think it was a very strong word for me as well. But you know, I took what I had and I just kind of closed it up here with some yarn. I put them all together. I just pulled everything from that planner, and you know, I did talk about you know, I just basically closed the year out with my word. And I put it together with some yarn, and I have my little charm that I have made by my friend, 1921 Design. She does stamp jewelry. But I'm going to tie this up in a bow, and I want to put my charm on there just like I did the previous year for change, the 2017 word. And then I'm moving into shine. I'm already into shine. And so, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys just the way of, for me too, just the closure of this particular word. So moving on from one little word into shine. Now, the reason I decided to go with a composition book is, for one, I like the size of it, and I really feel like for my word, and for me to grasp and get as much as I can from my word, I need to do a lot of journaling. And of course I want to do a lot of kind of junk journaling to this, and adding different pieces of washi and ephemera, and so I wanted a nice size notebook to do that in. So I'm going to go through and kind of show you guys what I did. This is, I follow the prompts from Allie Edwards, One Little Word, and I will leave a link for her. I'm a big advocate for this project. I've been doing this, I think, since 2011. And so it's really interesting to look back on these words and how they do change change yourself, and how focusing on certain words change things in your life. So, again, as I mentioned already, my word is shine this year. And how I put together my notebook is I basically, now if anybody's familiar with the composition book, the pages are not that thick. So I actually went through and I glued pages together. So I haven't done it back here, but what I plan on doing is as I fill this book, I think I did glue this one. As I fill this book up, I'm going to take this single sheet of paper. I just run, which I'll show you real quick if I have my glue stick here. It's fairly simple. And I basically, this is how I kind of do it. So this glue stick is old. Let me get another one. This is my favorite glue sticks, by the way, and I've mentioned this in so many videos, but in case you're watching this for the first time, I love this glue. It's Elmer's Extreme. It's a really thick glue, and it will hold down, it's extreme, it will hold down lots of different ephemera, photos, things like that. I use this a lot. And what I do is I wait till the school supplies goes on sale, and they usually sell 2 for like $2.49. And then if you, so I pretty much stock up during that time frame. But if I have to go back, I think they're like $2.50 for just one of them. So the school ones are nice because you get it, you know, 2 for 1 pretty much. But anyway, I just put a generous amount of glue around the edges, and then I just lay my sheet of paper down, and then you have your thicker sheet, where that way what I've noticed is when you write, I thought I might have my everyday journal in here, but I'll show it to, I'm going to be doing another video on my stack of projects, or I guess planners and journals that I'll be using this year, so it'll be in there if you want to check it out. I'm probably going to list it shortly after this one, but what I've noticed is I write with a black ink pen most of the time, and it was bleeding through where you could see it on the other side, and I did not like that. So doubling up the paper works great. And this also gives you, if you, and I'll show you what I've done before if you want to paint it, but how I'm planning on documenting using the different prompts. Basically, all of these are going to be my January. The yellow, I basically took a washi tape and I just put it over this. And then once I get into, you know, February, which February is a vision board. So my plan for that is once I do my vision board, I'm going to take a photo of it and I'm going to put it inside my journal. And then I would probably do a little bit of writing as well, just because I love to write things down and I love to document and just kind of do my feelings and those kind of things, or thoughts, processes. But I'll probably come in here with a different color washi once I do my February. And then as each prompt goes on, I'll just kind of, that's my goal, is to just put the different color washi so I know which month. Now, this is a little extreme for what Allie gives us to work on for your one little word, but I'll tell you my process from year to year, and personally, I love to go back and read what I had set for myself at the beginning of the year, and then to turn around and read about it at the end of the year. Sometimes you're giving yourself a high five, and other times you're like, well, that didn't work out, or okay, I'm going to try this next year, those kind of things. So it's just really fun to read over from the year to the end, because you are surprised about what you had goals for in January, and then December comes around, and like I said, people have life-changing events happen, and so you just never know where your word will take you, or life pretty much will take you. So let's get started. Basically, I painted my outside with my girl, and then I put a piece of, this was actually a piece of scrapbook paper on the inside. I added this envelope because what I've been doing, like for instance, this is paper by Chanel. She did have something in here about shine, sparkle. So say for instance, when you come across something like that and you want to save it because you may want to use it in your journal later, basically I just come in here and I'll just cut this out. And I actually I've been working on this for a while now, so I have lots of little paper in it, but I'll just stick that in here. And that way that just kind of keeps it safe, because I'll show you how I do my journaling. So, so this was some of this particular cutout came from the prompts from Allie, and then I just basically took it and added some different pieces in here to make it my own. Now, and what you'll see is throughout this little flip through that I'm doing is these white with the words, white pieces of paper with the words. Those are all printables from her prompt that she sends you. There's an invite, but these are from hers, and I just kind of added them through my journaling. So when you come to this page, basically what I did was, and you'll notice on all of them, I just kind of took yellow acrylic paint, and I just put it around the edges here. That way it just kind of defines, you know, each page and also being that my word is shine, I really feel like the yellow makes it look like the sunshine and shining. So I start out, I also printed some printables here from Peppermint. I'll see if I can find her as well, but she has her own little shop of printables, and I printed out, she had a whole slew of ones on shine. But basically I just put, you know, hello self. I have to say this is one of my favorite projects. I'm writing down life goals, dreams for the year. And so I kind of just go on and talk about what happened this past year, and looking forward to the new year. It's just kind of a note to myself. And then basically I looked up the definition of shine, and I put that in there, and then I put quotes that I like, and this is all, you can do Google searches and come up with all sorts of things, or scriptures or anything like that that you're going to look towards to your word. I then just kind of created a little wand here, and then of course she suggests putting a picture of yourself. I know I look kind of crazy goofy in that picture, but these glasses are so fun, and they're actually prescription for reading, and so I can't see when I put them on, but my friend just thought they were really fun, and she thought I would enjoy them, which of course I did. And so I just put that in there because part of my word shine is to be uniquely you, to stand out, shine, be colorful. And so that picture, I totally thought about that phrase when I looked at that picture. Continuing on in my journaling, I'm just basically kind of talking about, let's see here, just basically kind of going to bed a little bit earlier. I know what it was, because I'm like looking at bed. That is one of the things. To shine, you have to get sleep, and I am the world's worst of getting sleep, so I'm really, really trying to work on that. It's just that in the evening my brain is going, that's when I have time to really, really, really create, and then I get up in the morning and I really, really can create. So it's just kind of interesting. But anyway, basically I woke up and I looked at my phone to see what time it is, and of course I go to my social media because that's what I typically do in the morning. And then it says there was a thing about girl wash your face, and that was so spot on for what I needed at this point. In fact, on my way to work, I guess it was Friday, I listened to another chapter again. It's just a great book. I haven't finished listening to all of it yet, but because it was a lot to take in, but there are bits and pieces that I have been going back to. So anyway, so I just kind of, that's the kind of stuff I'm writing in here. It's just things that are gonna help me, and it just helps to write it down too. So I'm talking about my art in this picture. In this phrase, just trying to talk about my business, just different things. I always include YouTube, website, Instagram, just kind of basically talking about my goals for my creative business. And then of course I've put out the top 9 photos from Instagram. And then I kind of go into, I talk about my family life. I talk about different, my husband, my son, just kind of like what he's gone through last year, what we're looking for this year. And all throughout here, I'm, putting in different cute little pictures and little pretty little sayings and things like that to make it, where this is me. This is how I like to journal. So I put a couple of scriptures in here. And then I talk about my daughter. And then again, this is just kind of a little collage here. And this is where I kind of I took a break a little bit because I was really writing at the beginning of January, and then I don't know, things just got so crazy busy throughout January. So I came back in February and started writing again. And I just wanted to put that in there because a lot of things that I write in here might have changed in the last month. So, and then of course planning out the year here. And again, this is different prompts that Allie sent. In what ways is your word already a part of your life? What do you want more of and what do you want less of? What do you fear the most? So what am I most excited for? My intentions. And this is where it really got kind of fun because she started talking about the intentions. And this is something that I like to do anyway. So this really worked out. Basically, what are my actions? And so she said you could either do it like monthly or by like physical, mental, spiritual. I can't think of all the different ones, but I really like the idea of month because I've kind of like set little goals for myself. You know, like for my home, my garages, I think I've mentioned this several times. Just get it done, right? The garage, it's got moving boxes still in there. What, we're on month 8 now. This is getting a little ridiculous, but I did make some progress. So, but that was my goal for January. I didn't quite get there, but I got somewhat there. So, but I think also, like I just basically broke it down. So I have my months out, and I didn't go, I'll probably come in here and fill in March because that's coming up and I need to come up with my goals, but I didn't want to go through and fill up the whole thing. I thought about doing the first 6 months because things for me change, and I wish I was more on cue of this is what's supposed to happen this month and this is what I do, but I don't work that way. So I do more of like short spurts of goals, I guess you could say. But, you know, I wanted to put in here, you know, eat more vegetables, which we're doing really good about that, less carbs, you know, because that was my personal goal for February. I always put like business because I'm trying to work on packaging, booth setups, that kind of stuff. And then home, you know, it's like the garage cleaning. And then going into February, of course, I'm already thinking about getting roses in my garden area. I mean, because we're basically starting, we have some plants, of course, already, but, you know, that's my goal. It's like, okay, I want rose bushes. We need to get them in the ground. My chicken coop. And then personal, again, skincare, start walking more, which I've started that back up. But anyway, these are just kind of little goals that I want to set for myself. So this is what I really like. I like being able to look ahead, close my brain down a little bit, and then just kind of, how do I want to shine this year? So that kind of helps too. I wish I would have done that last year. I think it would have helped a little bit also. And then what I did was I came in here and I made a list of all my journals and planners that I'm using for this year, and that's the next video I'm going to be doing, so that should be coming up in a couple days if everything goes as planned. But this is just me breaking down what I'm going to be using for the year. So that also is helpful because I know sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming to have everything has a purpose. So I really wanted to write that down in here as well. And then over here, I haven't written it down yet, but you know, my long-term goal is to be a creative entrepreneur 100%. That's been my goal for a while now. And so I read an article the other day about basically mapping out or planning out your life. How would you want your day to be? How do you envision your dreams coming true? So I really want to write something in here about, you know, I wake up in the morning, you know, that kind of thing, where you talk about your day and what your dream day with your dream job is. And that's what I'm going to write in here. So, and then the next step's going to be when I take a picture of the vision board. So anyway, so that's my shine. That's kind of how I do my one little word. Again, it's to me, if you can take a few minutes, write down some information about what you want for the year. It's so, like I said, it's really interesting to come back in December or January, whenever you get a moment to go back and read your expectations or what you had hoped for. And sometimes, you know, you have little ceremony of happiness that, oh wow, I actually completed that. So anyway, I hope you're inspired, and stay tuned. I plan on trying to get as many videos as I can up. I have a list of stuff that I want to do, and like I said, this was such a big project for me because it really was sitting down and writing things out. So I'm ready to now be able to move on and start some other ideas that I have out there. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.